Hi, welcome to this Corbettmaths video. In this video, we're going to look at the video solutions to the reading tables practice questions. If you need any extra help on reading tables, if you go to corbettmaths.com/contents and scroll down to video number 387, there's a video tutorial there on reading tables. Alternatively, you could scan this QR code. But in this video, we're going to focus on the video solutions to the practice questions, so let's get started. So let's have a look at question number 1. So question number 1 says the table below shows the length of 5 rivers, and we've got the Clyde, the Foyle, the Trent, Usk and the River Wye. And we've got the lengths, which is 176 kilometres, 129 kilometres, 297 kilometres, 125 kilometres and 250 kilometres. And the first question, part A, says which of these rivers is the longest? So if we have a look at the lengths, the longest length would be this one, 297 kilometres, and the river is the River Trent. So which of these rivers is the longest? The River Trent. So the River Trent. Okay, part B. Part B says how long is the River Usk? So if we have a look at the table, so River Usk is 125 kilometres, and the question says how long is that river? So 125 kilometres. And part C says how much longer is the River Wye than the River Foyle? So if we have a look at the River Wye and the River Foyle, we've got the River Wye is 250 kilometres, the River Foyle is 129 kilometres, and we just need to take them away. So 250 kilometres, take away 129 kilometres. And whenever we do that, we get, well, 0 take away 9 we can't do, so let's borrow. So it's now 4 and carry the 1. 10 take away 9 is 1. 4 take away 2 is 2, and 2 take away 1 is 1. So the question says how much longer is the River Wye? Apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but how much longer is the River Wye than the River Foyle? That would be 121 kilometres, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 2. So question number 2 says 5 new rugby players join a team. And the table shows information about each player. So we've got the 5 players. We've got Alison, who's 27. She's a winger and she's English. We've got Shona, who's 28. She's a scrum half and she's Scottish. Rachel, who's 32, a fullback and who's Irish. Kaylin, who's 19, a prop from South Africa, and Sabrina, who's 24, a winger from Canada. And the question says, write down the name of the player who's Scottish. So if we have a look at the table, Scottish is Shona. So it says, write down her name. The name is Shona. Her name is Shona. Okay, now let's have a look at part B. Part B says write down the age of the youngest player. So we want to find the youngest player and write down their age, not their name, their age. So let's go back up to the table and let's look at the ages. So 27, 28, 32, 19, that's the youngest player, and 24. So we're to write down the age of the youngest player, so that would be 19. So the age of the youngest player is 19. And our next question says 2 players play in the same position. Write down the names of these 2 players. So we're going to need to look at the positions, and 2 of them play in the same position. So we've got a winger, scrum half, fullback, prop and winger. So we've got a winger here and a winger here. I've been asked to write down their 2 names. So Alison and Sabrina play in the same position. They're both wingers. So let's write down Alison and Sabrina. So Alison and Sabrina. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Question number 3. So question number 3 says the table shows information about flights from an airport, and we've got the flight numbers, the destinations and the time of takeoff. So we've got flight AY498 and the destination is Paris and it takes off at 7:45 and so on. And part A says what time does the flight to Athens take off? So here we've got the destination Athens, this one, and we're asked what time does it take off? So the answer would be 9:20, and that's it. Okay, part B. Part B says how many flights are before 9 a.m. In other words, how many flights take off before 9 a.m. So let's look at the times. So the ones before 9 a.m. would be this one, and this one. And this one's after 9 a.m. So there's 3 flights before 9 a.m. So let's write that down, 3. Part C. Part C says what is the flight number of the flight that takes off at 7:55? So let's look at the table and let's find the flight that takes off at 7:55. So we've got this flight that takes off at 7:55, the flight to Berlin. I've been asked to write its flight number, which is TT007. So let's write that down. TT007. Okay, part D. Part D says how much later does the flight to Warsaw take off than the flight to Berlin? So let's look at the flights to Warsaw and Berlin. So we've got the flight to Berlin takes off at 7:55 and the flight to Warsaw takes off at 8:15. And we've been asked how much later does this flight take off than this flight? So we want to see how much time there is between 5 to 8 and 8:15. So that'll be 5 minutes to get to 8 o'clock, and then another 15 minutes, that'll be 20 minutes. So the answer would be 20 minutes. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, let's have a look at question number 4. So question number 4 says, a community centre offers exercise classes each weekday evening at 6 p.m. and the table shows information about the classes. And we've got the days of the week, Monday to Friday, along the top, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we've got hall 1, hall 2 and hall 3. So there must be 3 halls in the community centre, and in each of the halls on different days is classes. And part A says, which exercise classes take place on a Tuesday? So if we have a look, we've got Tuesday here, and in hall 1 there's circuits, so let's write that down, circuits. In hall 2 on Tuesday there's yoga, so let's write that down. And on Tuesday in hall 3 there's Zumba, so in Zumba. So the 3 classes that take place on a Tuesday are circuits, yoga and Zumba. Okay, part B. Part B says which class takes place the most often. So let's have a look at the classes. So we've got circuits, spin, pump, yoga, Zumba. And they are the 5 classes we've got. We've got circuits, there's spin, there's pump, there's yoga, and there is Zumba. And let's count how many times each one takes place. So circuits. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So circuits take place on 3 occasions, on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. So they take place 3 times. Spin takes place 1, 2, 3 times. Pump takes place on 1, 2 times, 2 occasions over the course of a week. So on a Monday and Thursday. So there's 2 pump classes. Yoga takes place once, and Zumba takes place 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So if we just check that, there's 3, 6, 8, 9, 13 classes altogether, and let's just check that. We've got 5, 10, 15, and there's 2 spares, so that would be 13. So there's 13 classes. That's it. So we've got them all. And part B says which class takes place the most often. So if we have a look, Zumba takes place 4 times. So Zumba is the most common class, so it takes place the most often. So Zumba. Okay, part C. Which 2 classes take place the same number of times? So if we go back up, we can see circuits take place 3 times and spin takes place 3 times. So that means that circuits and spin take place the same number of times. And that's it. So circuits and spin. So let's write that down. Circuits and spin. Okay, our next part. So next part says Ruthie attends 1 pump class and 1 Zumba class, and she attended the Zumba class on Monday. So Monday, Ruthie done Zumba, and we've been asked to complete the sentence below. Last week, Ruthie attended the pump class on such and such a day in hall such and such. So she attended pump and Zumba, and she went to the Zumba class on Monday. So let's go back up to Monday, and she went to the Zumba class. So she done a Zumba class on Monday, and she went to the pump class as well, and we've got to find out what day and which hall it took place on. So if we go back up, we can see pump took place twice. Now she can't go to this pump class because it takes place on a Monday and all the classes take place at 6 p.m. So she can't be in 2 halls at once. So she can't have attended that pump class on Monday in hall 2. So if we have a look, there's only one other pump class she could attend, and that's this one. So that means that she must have attended the pump class on Thursday in hall 3. So let's go and write that down. So it took place on Thursday. So I was just thinking of Cluedo. So it took place on Thursday in hall 3. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Question number 5. So question number 5 says a holiday park has 4 types of glamping pod. They can be booked each week. So they can be booked for a week. And the table shows information about each type of glamping pod. So there's luxury, basic, family and comfort. And we know how many can sleep in each one of the glamping pods and whether they've got TVs, barbecues or hot tubs, and we've got their prices. And part A says which 2 glamping pods have a hot tub. So a hot tub, we have got the luxury has got a hot tub, and the comfort. So let's write that down, luxury and comfort. Okay, let's have a look at part B. So part B says which glamping pod does not have a barbecue. So if we go back up, we can see that the luxury, basic and family all do have barbecues. And the only one that does not have a barbecue is the comfort glamping pod. So the answer would be the comfort one. And then we're told that Ken would like to book a glamping pod for 6 people, so 6 people, that would cost less than £700. How much would this glamping pod cost? So let's have a look. So he wants a glamping pod for 6 people. So it's going to not be the basic one. It's not going to be the comfort one. And so it's either going to be the luxury or family. And it needs to be less than £700. So as you have a look here at the prices, the luxury one is £850. That's too expensive. He can't afford that one. So that means that Ken would have to hire the family glamping pod because it sleeps 6 people and it costs less than £700. It costs £620. And the question said it doesn't ask which type of glamping pod he can book. It says how much would this glamping pod cost. So if we go back up, the family one, it sleeps 6 people and it costs £620. So it's going to be £620. So £620. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. And so our next question says, the table below shows information about the medals won by 6 countries in the 2020 Olympic Games. So obviously they took place in 2021, but they were still called the 2020 Olympics in terms of the branding and so on. And we've got 6 countries. We've got Australia, Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Italy, China, Japan and the USA. And we've got the number of gold, silver and bronze medals that each of those countries won. And part A says, write down the number of silver medals won by China. So if we go to have a look at China, we've got China and the silver medals. They won 32 silver medals. So the answer would be 32. China won 32 silver medals. Part B says, which country won more silver than gold medals? So we're looking at the silver and gold, and we want to see which country won more silver than gold. And because there's which country, that means there's only going to be one country, I think, in this list that will have won more silver than gold. So Australia, did it win more silver than gold? No, they won more gold than silver. Great Britain won more gold than silver. Italy won the same number of gold and silver. China won more gold than silver. Japan won more gold than silver, but if we have a look here, the United States of America, they won 41 silver and only 39 gold, so the United States of America won more silver than gold, so it'll be the USA. So let's write that down, USA. Okay, and let's have a look at part C. Part C says, which 2 countries won the same number of bronze medals? So we're looking for the 2 countries that won the same number of bronze medals. So let's look at that column in our table and see where we can find the 2 numbers that are the same. And as you can see here, Australia and Great Britain and Northern Ireland both won 22 bronze medals. So there are 2 countries. So Australia and Great Britain. Great Britain and Northern Ireland both won the same number of bronze medals. Okay, and then we've got part D. Part D says, work out how many medals Japan won in total. So if we go up to the table and look at Japan, they won 27 gold, 14 silver and 17 bronze. Now this is a non-calculator question, so we're going to need to do 27 plus 14 plus 17. And it's a non-calculator question, so let's work that out without a calculator. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 7 is 18, so let's put our 8 down and carry our 1. Then we've got 2 plus 1 is 3, plus another 1 is 4, and plus another 1 is 5. So that means that Japan won 58 medals, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 7. So question number 7 says, the table below shows information about 7 laptops. So we've got 7 laptops and we know the price, the weight, the thickness and the battery length of each of those laptops. And part A says, which laptop is the most expensive? So if we have a look at the prices, you can see here the highest price is this one, which is the Lemon laptop. So the Lemon laptop is the most expensive. Part B says, which laptop is the thickest? So if we have a look at the thickness, we're looking for the thickest. So it's going to be this one, 2.45 centimeters. So that's the Laser laptop. It's the thickest one. So it's going to be Laser. So let's write that down, Laser. Okay, part C. Part C says, what fraction of the laptops costs more than £900? So let's look at the prices. And we're looking for the fraction that costs more than £900. So more than £900, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laptops. So 5 of them cost more than £900 and there's 7 altogether. So that means that 5/7 of the laptops cost more than £900. So let's write that down. 5/7. 5/7. If the question says what fraction of the laptops cost less than £900, that would be 2/7. Okay, let's carry on. Jessica has £1,000 to spend on a laptop and she would like to buy a laptop with the longest possible battery life. Which laptop should she buy? So let's have a look at the laptops that cost less than £1,000. That would be either this one, it costs less than 1,000. This one, it costs less than 1,000. This one, it costs less than 1,000, or this one. So Jessica's got the choice of 4 laptops. She can either buy the Epic one, the Bell laptop, the Laser laptop, or the Zeus laptop. Because she's only got £1,000, she couldn't buy the Lemon, the HP, or the LP laptop. Now, in terms of the battery length, she wants the laptop with the longest battery length. So we've got 13, 14, so we've got 13, 14, 15 or 14. So 15 hours is the longest battery life, so that means that that will be the Laser laptop. She wants to buy the laptop that costs under £1,000 with the longest battery life. So it's going to be this one. So that means that Jessica should buy the Laser laptop. So let's write that down, Laser. Okay, let's have a look at question number 8. So question number 8 says, the table below shows information about some cars. So we've got some used cars here and we've got their prices, their ages, their mileage, and the road tax amount, so how much they need to pay in road tax each year. And then we're told Rosie would like to buy a 5-year-old car, so she'd like to buy a 5-year-old car, so let's either this one, this one, this one. So she got a choice of 3 cars because she'd like to buy a 5-year-old car, and she would like to pay the lowest possible amount of road tax. If we have a look at the road tax, the lowest possible amount, so we've got £165, £130, or £165. So she wants to pay the lowest amount of road tax. That's going to be this one. And we're asked which car should Rosie buy. So if we have a look, that would be the Nia. So let's write that down. Rosie should buy the Nia because it's a 5-year-old car with the lowest possible amount of road tax. Okay, so carrying on, Killian would like to buy a car with a mileage below 40,000 miles. So he would like to buy a car with a mileage under 40,000 miles, and he's got £16,000 to spend. Which car should Killian buy? So we're told that Killian wants to buy a car that costs under £16,000 with a mileage that is under 40,000. So let's start off by looking at the prices. So he can't buy this car. He can't buy this car because he only gets £16,000. He could buy this car. He could buy this car. It's under £16,000. He could buy this car, but he couldn't buy this car or this car. So that means that Killian's got a choice of 3 cars. He could either buy the Nia, the Wonder, or the Leap. Now, in terms of the mileage, we were trying to find the mileage that is under 40,000 miles. Now, if we have a look at the mileages, we've got 59,309. No, that's not below 40,000. We've got 38,551. That is below 40,000. And then we've got this one with a mileage of 81,231. So no. So that means there's only one car that sort of satisfies the conditions that Killian had. He wanted to buy a car which costs less than £16,000 or £16,000 or less that has a mileage under 40,000 miles. So that means that he should buy the Wonder car. So he should buy, which car should Killian buy? The Wonder. Okay, let's look at our next question. So question number 9. We're told that Marco sells ice creams from a seaside stall, and each year he opens a stall during the months of May, June, July and August. And the table shows the number of ice creams that he sold during the 3 years. So we've got 2021, 2022 and 2023. And we've got our months, May, June, July and August, and we've got the number of ice creams he sold in each one of those months. So for instance here, in June 2023, he sold 27,709 ice creams. And part A says, in which year did Marco sell the most number of ice creams? So did he sell more ice creams in 2021, 2022, or 2023? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up this number, this number, this number, and this number. And if I add up those 4 numbers, it'll tell me how many ice creams Marco sold in 2021. If we add up these 4 numbers, it would tell us how many ice creams he sold in 2022. And if we add up these 4 numbers, it will tell us how many ice creams Marco sold in 2023. So it's a calculator question. So using my calculator, I'm going to add these numbers up, these numbers up, and these numbers up, and I'm going to write the numbers, the totals underneath, and they would be. So I've added those numbers up and we've got our total. So in 2021, Marco sold 65,480 ice creams. In 2022, Marco sold 66,537. But in 2023, he sold way more. He sold 76,532 ice creams. So in which year did Marco sell the most number of ice creams? The answer would be 2023. So let's write that down, 2023. Okay, and then we're told that Marco says he normally sells more ice creams in August than July. Is Marco correct? Explain your answer. So let's go up to our table because he says he normally sells more in August than he does in July. If we compare those months over the 3 years and see, does he normally sell more in August than he does in July? So let's have a look and see. So we've got August and we've got July and we've got our 3 years, 2021, 2022 and 2023. So let's compare the July and August for each of those years. So in 2021, did he sell more in July or August? Well, actually he sold more in this July than he did in the August. So he sold more in July here than August. In 2022, did he sell more in July or August? Well, as you can see here, he sold more in July than he did in August. And then finally, in 2023, he did sell more in August than July. It says he normally sells more in August than he does in July, but you can see here that 2 of the 3 years, he actually sells more in July than he does in August. So would I agree with Marco? No, because for 2 out of the 3 years, he sells more in July than he does in August. Yes, in 2023, he sells more in August than he does in July, but he says usually, and I don't actually agree with him. So let's write that down. And that's it. So I've just written down that for 2 of the 3 years, he sells more in July than August. Okay, let's look at our last question, question number 10. So question number 10, we've been given a table and it shows the price of hot drinks in Corbett's Diner. So in Corbett's Diner, we can get tea, coffee or hot chocolate. They're the 3 hot drinks. And there's 3 possible sizes. There's either small, regular or large. And we've got the prices. And Priya buys 2 large coffees and 3 small hot chocolates, and she has a voucher for 40% off. Work out how much Priya pays for the drinks. So she buys 2 large coffees, so that's £3.95 each for the large coffees, and she buys 3 small hot chocolates, so small hot chocolate would be £2.30. So she buys 3 small hot chocolates for £2.30 each, and she buys 2 large coffees for £3.95 each. So this is a calculator question, so we can work out that grand total. So let's do that to begin with. And this is a calculator question, so that's quite nice. So let's consider the large coffees to begin with. So she buys 2 of those, so that's going to be 2 multiplied by £3.95. And whenever we do 2 times £3.95, that would be equal to £7.90, so that's £7.90. Next, she buys 3 small hot chocolates. So that's 3 hot chocolates and they cost £2.30 each. So 3 times £2.30 would be £6.90. So we've got the price of the 2 large coffees and the price of the 3 small hot chocolates. And if we add those together, that would tell us the normal price for the 2 large coffees and the 3 small hot chocolates before she uses her voucher. And if we add those two amounts together, that would give us a grand total of £14.80. So that would be how much it would cost without the voucher. But Priya has a voucher that gives her 40% off. So let's work out 40% off £14.80 and then take it away to see how much Priya then has to pay for her drinks. So let's find 10%. So if we want to find 10%, we can just divide this by 10. And it's a calculator question, so if we divide this by 10, we get that's equal to £1.48. And actually you can do that without a calculator quite nicely. So 10% is £1.48. So if we want 40%, we could just multiply this by 4 because it's 4 lots of 10%. So if we do £1.48 multiplied by 4, that's equal to £5.92. So £5.92. So that means that the voucher will give Priya £5.92 off the total price. So if we do £14.80, take away the £5.92, what's left will be how much Priya has to pay. And whenever we take away £5.92 from £14.80, that's equal to £8.88. So how much does Priya have to pay for the drinks? The answer would be £8.88, and that's it. Now, one thing I just want to mention is in this question, I found 10% by dividing by 10 to get 10% and then multiplying that by 4 to get 40%, and that's totally fine. To get 40%, we could have also just taken the £14.80 and divided it by 100, divided 1%, and then times by 40, and again you would have got £5.92. Alternatively, you could just multiply this by 0.4. That's called a multiplier. And if you multiply something by 0.4, you will get what 40% of it is. And again, that'll be £5.92. And then whenever you take them away, you get £8.88. And that's it. So these have been the video solutions to the Corbettmaths Practice Questions on reading tables. I really hope you found this video useful. If you have found it useful, please like it and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you need any extra help on reading tables, if you go to corbettmaths.com/contents and scroll down to video number 387, there's a dedicated video tutorial there on reading tables. Alternatively, you could scan this QR code. I really hope you found this video useful and thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.